Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience. So, we are just starting now formally the session. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Eh,
कोई इंट्रोड्यूस करेगा कि ऐसे ही शुरू कर दे?
Manish, what is it? Ashwarya, you're there?
Yeah, I'm Karishma this side. I'm here, Tulika. So actually he has shared his screen. So now I am not able to share my screen.
Okay, so I think let it be right now.
Yeah, okay.
So let's not do anything. So what I'll do, just a second.
आप ऐसे ही अनाउंस कर दीजिए.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Guruji. Just a second, Guruji. So, Karishma, you can announce, like you can start with this.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Karishma Surana from Team Wellcure. I'm going to be hosting today's session. A very, very warm welcome to all of you to this introductory session of the Mahayoga program. So before we begin the session, I would like to share about Wellcure. Most of us might know what Wellcure is, but for the new people out there, Wellcure is a digital natural healing platform where we regularly host workshops related to natural living and natural healing, following the principles of nature cure and living a sustainable lifestyle that is healthy and close to nature. So before we begin this session, I would like to give a few instructions for it to ensure that the session progresses smoothly. I would request all of you to keep your microphones on mute and your mobile phones on silent. For any communication, we'll use the chat box, and you may want to take notes for future reference. I would request you to ask questions which are relevant to today's topic. So now I would like to welcome Dr. Tulika and Dr. Arun Sharma to this workshop. Dr. Tulika is a natural health coach with Emana, an associate professor in geography in the College of Delhi University. So we welcome you both, and over to you, Tulika, now.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, just to start with this session, I want to introduce Dr. Arun Sharma for those who are coming here for the first time to attend this session. Dr. Arun Sharma is a third generation practitioner in the nature cure lineage of his grandfather, Acharya K. Lakshmana Sharma, who is also widely regarded as the father of nature cure in India. Dr. Arun Sharma obtained a doctorate degree in natural hygiene from the Indian Institute of Natural
Therapeutics.
Yeah, in the year 1970. He has held key positions in some leading natural hygiene institutions in India. He was the founding director of the Institute of Mahayoga and Natural Hygiene in New Delhi, India in the year 1982. He later expanded the organization into the International Institute of Mahayoga and Natural Hygiene when he moved to US in 1986. He has been conducting numerous training courses and health camps in both India and US and helped many patients suffering from chronic diseases to return to their normal health. So we welcome Dr. Arun Sharma today, and he's going to talk about Mahayoga, the introductory session for today, and we'll be telling you about the rest of the sessions, the 5 sessions in when he ends the today's session. So let's start with the session today. It's over to you, Guruji.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Let us together study the system called Mahayoga. Mahayoga is a name given by Lord Shiva himself, as referred to in Skanda Purana, Kurma Purana. In Kurma Purana, Lord Shiva calls this science of learning about the self as the science of Mahayoga. Science is only an observation. It's not even a science, it's beyond science. It's a study. So in this, before I introduce the subject, I have to tell you who is the founder, who is the person who told us about this. It's my grandfather, Acharya Lakshmana Sharma, who has been associated with Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi of Tiruvannamalai. He is one of the greatest sages of India, and for more than 20 years, with close association with Ramana Maharshi, my grandfather, Lakshmana Sharma, learned the intricate details of the science of Mahayoga. Science of Mahayoga deals with not just the physical and mental state of our body, our life, but it deals with the spiritual self. We know about our body. We think we are our body. At one time, we were a small baby, and everybody said, "Oh, cute, how nice and beautiful," and they pinched our cheeks and they lifted us. All that was ourselves. And then we became a boy, or a girl, and little by little we started growing. If this is our body, it's not what it was. It's keeping on changing. Then, if whatever is changing is not us, then are we this, our mind? Mind is changing even faster. You have to identify yourself with that which is constant. What is constant? The soul, the self. That's not changing. Our mind, our body is changing, our mind is changing, and the intellect that's containing lots of information about our life, about others' lives, about things that we see in this world, and the things we conceive in this world. All those things we gather information and store it in the intellect. And there are more information that we do not have access to. There are occasions for people who have done some pranayama and meditation, they get to a state where they can collect more information than what they have studied, because all those informations are stored in our DNA, in our memory bank. And how to access that? For that, we have practices called pranayama. And if we know the right way of doing the pranayama, we can collect more information than what we have studied in schools or colleges or through personal experience. So such informations have come to me, and on occasions when people ask questions and I didn't know the answer directly, but the answers came to me. I am not saying this to boast that I am a great master. I am just saying that this is available. This is possible. When I have seen it, that means you can see it. I am not something bigger than you or greater than you or more knowledgeable than any of you. We are all the same. That's why I said Sahana Vavatu. Let us together study the truth. The truth of our life is different from the popular belief. My grandfather, Acharya Lakshmana Sharma, who was a great Sanskrit scholar, and he has studied Vedic scriptures to reinvent the outline of natural health science. He became sick at some stage of his life, and as normally everybody takes, he was also taking medicines for curing his ailment. But the doctor told him that there is no cure for this. You have to keep taking the medicine for the rest of the life. That is when he got so dejected with his life, and he even thought of committing suicide. At that time, he was introduced to a book called New Science of Healing, in which he saw methods without taking medicines, using the water, sunlight, and air, and all those things. And he followed these guidelines, and he got well. A sickness which was declared or labeled as incurable, dyspepsia. Those days, that was the most serious diseases. As years came by, more and more serious diseases came up, and we came to know about diabetes, cancer, arthritis, rheumatism, and cancer, and HIV, and all kinds of diseases, one superseding the other. More and more serious, incurable diseases are introduced to us in our life. But all those things have been compressed and solved by one question. Is it something that we brought in? Do we know the cause of this disease? That's the only question that we have to answer. If we know the cause of a disease, we can remove just the cause of the disease, and the disease effect will go away. If we just keep trying to remove the effect without touching the cause of the disease, then it will never go away. It will keep on coming again and again in different forms, different ways. So having gone to that extent, then he saw that these are all ancient Indian practices that's been prescribed in this book by a German author, Louis Kuhne. So he saw that because these are seemingly Indian practices, he went to research the Vedic scriptures, and he found plenty of information in the Upanishads, in the Vedic scriptures, in the Puranas and Niti Shastras, and everywhere the information was available. And having studied that, he comprised nature cure into a health science as derived from the Vedic scriptures. And this natural health science also further indicates that if you want to go to the depth of this science, you have to understand that our physical, mental, and spiritual health is one and indivisible. What is this? We know about physical health, fitness of the body, and willingness to go do work, lightness of the body, all those symptoms of health we studied in natural health science. Then it comes to know our light that every physical ailment is preceded by a mental ailment, without solving which you can never solve the physical ailment. That means our emotional imbalance can destroy our health. No matter how healthy you are eating, no matter how much physical exercise you are doing, you are following all the principles of natural health science, but still you are feeling sick. So there comes a stage where you have to deal with the mind. In fact, you have to start the whole treatment with dealing with the mind. Our mind is changing. Our mind is guided by our intellect. Feed the intellect with proper information, and the mind will be guided to the right path. This is the process that has been taught to us in natural health science by my grandfather, Acharya Lakshmana Sharma. Coming in the lineage of Acharya Lakshmana Sharma, in the third generation, I tried to share this with so many people. Thousands of people have now become free from their illnesses, and they have followed natural health science to a great extent, and they are thankful. But the problem comes in every person's life that they are not able to stick to the discipline for long. For sometimes they stick and they get attracted to so many other things in the world. The pressure of the advertisement, the pressure of people around you. They say, this is normal food. What are you doing eating? I'm eating normal food. That's not normal food. That's common food. The common people today are not eating healthy. So in order to make the common people healthy, we have to get rid of common food and introduce normal food. Not only the food that we eat and drink, but the food that comes to us through subtler beings. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 4, there is a verse where Krishna says, Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankaramiti yamme bhinna prakritirashtadha. 8 energies of Krishna, where all the 5 elements, ether, air, sunlight, water, and earth, is included. But subtler than water is sunlight, subtler than sunlight is air, subtler than air is ether. That much we have studied and we have understood. But subtler than ether are 3 more elements. And when we start dealing with that, we know that we are having to go to a higher study of these elements. As we study the subtler and subtler element and more subtler element, we know that these elements also play a very important role in our life. What is subtler than ether? Mind. What is subtler than mind? The intellect. What is subtler than the intellect? The ego. That's where the science of Mahayoga comes in. Science of Mahayoga is the study of the egoless state. People are able to fast without eating food. They are able to avoid even drinking water. They are able to avoid sunlight. They are able to avoid breathing for some time. They are able to meditate and stop breathing for a long time. All those capacities people have got. But there are sages and there are rishis in the ancient India who meditated for years together, it seems, and they have conquered their mind and their intellect and everything. But then when it comes to ego, many of them were not able to control that. They cannot know what is, why they are not able to succeed in their mission. Finally, they came to know, like the story of Vishwamitra and Vashishta. Vashishta is called the Brahma Rishi, and Vishwamitra wanted to become a Brahma Rishi. So he gave up his kingdom and his regular life and went to forest to meditate, and meditated for many years. And then finally Lord Brahma appeared before him and asked him what he wants. He says, I want to be a Brahma Rishi. Before he says, okay, Tathastu, or okay, you are a Brahma Rishi, he says, wait, call that guy who calls himself Brahma Rishi. Let him say that I am a Brahma Rishi now. Then I can accept it. Then the Vashishta was called, and Vashishta said, as long as you want to be a Brahma Rishi, how can you be a Brahma Rishi? If you have wants, then you are not Brahma Rishi. If you have no wants, absolutely no wants, only then you can be a Brahma Rishi. At that time he realized, and he fell at the feet of Vashishta. He said, why didn't you tell me in the beginning? I wouldn't have wasted all these years of meditation, tapasya. Now I don't want anything. I don't want to be a Brahmarshi. I don't want to be anything. At that time, he was declared, yes, now you are a Brahmarshi. That means if you have wants, you can't be a Brahmarshi. Do we want to be a Brahmarshi? I don't know. We don't want to worry about that now. We want to only worry about what we can do within the sphere of our own life to achieve that state of realization where we don't suffer in this world. One thing is suffering, another is a happiness. In our life, we think happiness comes from things around us. Happiness comes from the world. That means these things which are the happiness that we get from things, we realize at a little later stage that it is not permanent. For some time we are happy, but later on we are not happy. My son wants a new toy. We buy him a new toy. He's happy playing with it. And in a day or two, he's even showing off to other kids. I have this toy, I have that toy. And in a day or two, the other kid shows something, a different kid toy. He says, I have this, you don't have that. That's it. All his happiness from the toys that he had is gone. Now he wants that toy. Until he gets that toy, he is so sad. Is it not the same thing with all of us? All of us want the same way. We are behaving the same way. Our wants are never, never diminishing. We want more and more and more. Whenever we get more, we are not satisfied with that. We want a different thing, we want a different thing, like things like that. In the 1960s, there was a wave of people who became hippies. They were all belonging to very rich families. Children from rich families, they got tired of their they felt imprisoned into the walls of their house. No matter how big the house was, they had their car, they had their company, they had everything, posh schools, and everything was very good. But still, they were not having the freedom to give up all that and go. They were seeing that the ordinary man in the street in rags is happier. So they gave up all that. They went in rags. They deliberately tore their pants in and jeans. They had tears in different places. They thought that's being great, fashionable. So that started a fashion. People started wearing torn clothes. And we have seen jokes in comics where the mother is stitching up his torn pants and the son is getting angry. Oh, I paid extra money to buy this torn pants and you are stitching it up. That crazy thing started. Then people started getting more and more crazy, walking in the streets, lying down on the streets, all kinds of things. So happiness does not come from things. No matter how you change, they still were not happy. We know about so many things. Ignorance is what leads us to these things. In Shastra, they talk about Maya. Maya is illusion. They make things look in a different way that fascinates us, our attention. When we are fascinated with the way a thing looks, we want to get it. And when we get it, we see that it is not what we thought it was. Take food, for instance. There are so many different kinds of food. Sweets and all kinds of pungent food, sour food, salty food, bitter food, all kinds of foods people are attracted to. They say beer, oh, people love beer, but it is bitter, they say. They say there is certain pickles they love, they're pungent, very hot. Like that, there are so many different tastes, people get attracted to it. And after some time, they want higher taste. They want stronger taste. People are not able to enjoy the taste if they are not hungry. The taste of plain cucumber, which is very subtle in taste, they are not able to enjoy because they are not hungry. You have to deserve to enjoy the food of subtle foods, the taste of subtle foods, only when you become hungry. See, in this we see the secret. What is becoming hungry? The body tells you that now we are in a state where we can accept food. Until that state, you are not able to enjoy the subtle taste of foods. Like a plain cucumber, we are not able to enjoy the taste unless we put some nimbu or namak, salt or lemon and other spices. We are becoming a slave for higher taste. And the higher taste is like a what do you call whip. You are whipping yourself to let the food in. So Those are the things which are to be understood in a greater depth. That is a result of ignorance. Who can tell us this is right, this is wrong? We have to refer to authorities. Who are the authorities? People who have tried it, who have gone through this. For food, we have seen people who have gone through so many difficult dieting programs, and they have gone through discipline, and then they have got their health back. When we refer to them, there are so many schools of thoughts. Some people say avoid protein. Some people say avoid starch. Some people say avoid this food, that food, mono fruits, mono dieting. All kinds of schools are there who make you crazy. Shani, go to this diet or that diet or this system or that system. There are so many names of systems. But finally, after trying all that, they come to our system, natural hygiene, natural health science, which teaches them how to enjoy the taste by fasting, how to moderate yourself. Don't go extremes. Be moderate in everything that you practice. Who tells us? An authority, a person who has tried it, who has succeeded for many years. That's where the teachers come. In the same way, in the world of spirituality, we need to refer to masters who have done it. Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi is one of them who has done it, who has lived the example of his teachings, and people who came to him without his speaking to them, just sitting in his presence for some time, got the answers for all his questions. There was one example of a young man who was reading Bhagavad Gita. And in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse which says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, Ananyashchintayanto Mam, Yejanat Paryupasate, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Krishna says, the one who surrenders totally to me and leaves all his cares to me, I take care of his daily needs. That's what the sloka says. Oh, he will take care of my daily needs? Okay, I will not do anything. Let me see if Krishna brings my breakfast. This young man who's read that verse in the Bhagavad Gita book, he is waiting for Krishna to bring his breakfast. It is from 8 o'clock in the morning. He is waiting for breakfast. It's 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. He is getting very hungry and restless. Oh, this verse is wrong. I can't wait anymore. Krishna, you didn't bring my breakfast in time. I'm going to take it myself. I don't believe that verse. I don't believe what you said. So he goes to a restaurant, he has his food, but still is bothered. Why does it say like this? So he goes to Tiruvannamalai Ramana Ashram. In Ramana Ashram, he is sitting there with anger and eagerness to ask a question. Why is this Bhagavad Gita saying all lies? So at that time, Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi pointed, my grandfather who was sitting there, can you please talk to people about self-surrender, total surrender? Then my grandfather sat before the audience and at the feet of Ramana Maharshi, and he is talking about self-surrender. He quotes the same verse which this young man read. This young man is wondering, how do they know that I came with this question? That's the greatness of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. Whenever he sees people coming there with problems, he introduces solutions without their asking the question, and they are completely satisfied. My grandfather tells people that total surrender means you have to accept whatever Krishna gives you as breakfast. If he gives you sunlight, if he gives you air, if he gives you just ether, no food, just enjoy the subtle foods, you should know there is value in it. You cannot question him, Why did you not give me this? Why didn't you give me dosa? I wanted dosa for my breakfast. You should know it and you should get it. That is not total surrender. Don't use your intelligence. So totally surrender to Krishna, and according to his intelligence, whatever he gives, accept that. That's what is total surrender. In the same way, there was a situation when Draupadi was being disrobed, and she tried to hold herself for a long time. When the force was so much that she could not hold it anymore, then she cried out, Krishna! And immediately, without wasting a second, Krishna rescued her, and he did not let her get shamed. And he supplied with new saris and kept on supplying it as long as that fellow get tired of pulling saris, and he fell down. That is what it is. And when Draupadi asked Krishna at a later time, Krishna, I was struggling for so long, why didn't you come to help me? He said, you were trying it yourself. We should give you a chance to try. I was right there waiting for you to totally surrender to me, and then I helped you. The moment you totally surrendered and just said, Krishna, raised your hands, at that time, I immediately saved you without wasting a single second. That's what is total surrender. We have to know all this by examples. There will be detailed discussion about all these things in every day's lecture. We should know who is the authority, how can a person become authority to teach us all this, and then we should know what the soul is all about. Is it this, what is soul, what is God, what is self, all those things in detail. If we have to know, we have to go through a lot of details of discussion, examples of our daily life, and when we go through all those, things become clear. This knowledge of the soul, this knowledge of the egoless state is very useful for us. Why is it useful for us? How is it useful for us? Because in this world, we are entangled with so many complications. Some people say corona is dangerous. Some people say corona is not the dangerous thing. Some people say you have to wear a mask. Some people say, oh, it's silly to wear a mask. Corona is so small that it can pass through the mask also easily. The holes in the mask is 300 times bigger than corona. It's like wearing a big screen with stopping the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes can easily come through big screens. In the same way, there are so many people giving you different ideas. In order to be clear about everything, we have problem. Some people say you must have a very good job to be happy in life. Some people say it's not job, you have to have a business. Some people say no, you should not have a business. Some people have say consultation. All kinds of information is out there and confusing us more and more and more. In order to be clear, in order to be calm, it is necessary to understand the truth in totality. How does the knowledge of the soul, knowledge of the self going to help us in our life? We are surrounded with information that is wrong and that is right. Which is right, which is wrong? How do we judge? How do we understand that? It is all in relation to the soul. It is all in relation to the self. Where are we going? Are we going to live here forever? And after we die, what's going to happen? If we know about that, then we will not be holding on to certain things. When you hold on to things, we are creating pain in our body. When we release it, whatever belongs to you will come to you. Whatever does not belong to you will go away from you. In good old days, we never used to lock our houses when we went out. The house was open. It was just closed, but there was no lock in it. The lock is for a thief, and thief knows how to open even the locks. At one time there was Aligarh. From Aligarh, there used to be Aligarh locks. Even in good old days, it used to be 40 rupees per lock. Then people who had properties in their house, they put Aligarh locks and went away. But they didn't know that a thief doesn't have to break a lock. He doesn't have, he simply has to break a window, or he just had to find another, break the wall and go in. There are so many ways that thieves, there is no lock for the thief. Lock is for the honest gentleman who knows that the house is locked, we cannot go in. That's all. So many other companies from Punjab started making locks for 1 rupee, 2 rupees, 5 rupees. Oh, if we can buy locks for such a low price, why should we buy 40 rupees lock? People started buying 1 rupee, 2 rupee locks and manage their life. So the truth is different. In our life, there are things which we have to preserve. And those things cannot be preserved by locks or any other means. You can preserve those things by practicing it, by understanding it. Those are the secrets that we are going to study in this following lectures. Now, I have given you some idea about the egoless state. I have given you some idea what is a soul. It is not this mind, it is not the intellect, it is not the ego. Beyond that, beyond ego, if you go, then you go to the soul. Is it your particular soul is different from the soul of the others? Is your Atma different from the other Atma of the others? All those things we have to see. Just a small example. In your body, there is innumerable cells, and each cell has got life. If each cell considers, I am Arun Sharma, I am the whole body, I am the life. If I am gone, he is gone. If he thinks that, don't we know it's silly? That each cell has got a life of 2 years or 3 years. After that, that cell is dead, and in its place, new cells come in. There are bone cells, there are flesh cells, there are blood cells, there are nerve cells, hair cells. So many cells are there in the body. And each cell cannot think that he is an independent unit and he is one who is sustaining me. That will be wrong. In the same way, all of us think that we are this body. We are, as long as I live, I am the one who is controlling it. That's what we think. But there are times when we sleep. When we go to deep sleep, at that time, our body is not there. We don't know where we are. There is a stage of awakening, there is a stage of dreaming stage, and beyond the dreaming stage, all dreams have gone, and we are just there lying down with eyes closed and completely relaxed, and we don't know where we are. That deep sleep stage, where are we? We are not there. That is the stage where we have to reach. I'm not suggesting to continue sleeping for every day. This meditation process, where we ask ourselves, who am I? That is a search that we are going to discuss about in few lectures that Wellcure has arranged. Now I will open the floor for discussion, and Wellcure can introduce the lecture series after we finish the question series. Thank you. Are there any questions, or are you going to ask the people to put the question in the chat box or
Yes.
anything?
Yes. So everybody, please put your questions in the chat box. We can take up the questions. And if somebody wants to ask the question, himself or herself can raise their hands and we can unmute you and you can directly ask the question. Till the time we are okay. So there is a question Guruji, about importance of sunlight and DNA.
Well, although this question doesn't belong to this topic,
Yeah.
sunlight is one of the subtle foods which is necessary for our body. DNA is a memory that we have, characteristics that we carry on from generation to generation. When a child is born, then there is a ceremony in our Hindu culture, naming ceremony. During the naming ceremony, the mother, the father, grandfather, grandmother, two grandfathers, two grandmothers, they hold the baby in their hand and in the ear they chant a mantra. Angat Angat Sambhavasi Hridayat Ati Jayase. All that mantra means you are an extension of my body. You are an extension of my mind. You are an extension of my intellect. My heart goes out to you. And whenever I wish that you live a very healthy life, useful for people and useful for this world. The purpose of your life should be to serve others, and my total cooperation to you and my best wishes for you. When we say this mantra, this is actually a reminder for the father, reminder for the mother, reminder for the grandmother, grandfather, all those people. It's a reminder that the purpose of our life is to serve others. And this process of helping others can be different for different people. The sunlight, when you expose our body to sunlight, the sunlight, when you look at the rising sun and say Gayatri Mantra, or you can say the Bible, from the Bible or from Quran, it doesn't matter what religion you belong to. Sunlight is common to all people, all religion, all animals, all living beings. It's one of the subtler foods. When we expose our body to sunlight and when we look at the sunlight, as sunlight goes into the retina and rejuvenates the photosensitive cells and makes you see better. Not only physically you can see better, you can see the meaning of life even better. The sunlight is a very good influence, and through sunlight we rejuvenate our memory, rejuvenate our the capacity to hear, capacity to see, capacity to smell, capacity to touch, all those things, understand by just touching. All those sensations becomes better through sunlight. That's as far as I can answer now, but the more detailed answers you will learn in future lectures. Thank you.
So, another question: how do nature cure practices help dissolve the ego? This
In
question.
nature cure practices, we are told that subtler the food, higher its potency. We have seen that from earth we go to water. Water is subtler than earth. Earth means all the plants that give us food, the vegetarian food. It's what we meant. There are people who take non-vegetarian food. That's even a lower element. From earth comes plants, from plants come food, from food comes beings, from beings, there are other beings who eat the beings, who eat the plants. And like that, grosser elements and subtler elements are there. Subtler the element, higher its potency. So in nature cure, we teach them that we can live without eating any food. We can just live on water. Even water, we don't have to drink like people are saying, drink a lot of water. Those are the things which we teach people. Drink sips of water, small drops of water, that will suffice to quench your thirst. But the food that you eat should be full of water. All the fruits and vegetables are with 70% of water. So we, at every stage of nature cure, we teach people the value of subtler foods. Water is subtler than the food that we eat. Plenty of water should be there in the food by itself, not separately drinking water. Like that, from water we go to sunlight. Sunlight is food. People don't know that. From sunlight we get so many things. Without sunlight, you cannot make vitamins or enzymes become useful to you. All the vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that your body generates to change new cells into healthy cells, that cannot be done without the combination of sunlight. Like calcium, phosphorus, iron, all these things make good bone cells. But without the sunlight, this vitamin D is converted, ergosterol in the body is converted into vitamin D by the influence of sunlight. Without the vitamin D, our bone structure cannot be made. Calcium phosphate and iron and vitamin A combined together make red blood cells. Like that, sunlight will work in every situation to add to the nutrition of the body. So subtler and subtler, subtler than sunlight is air. Without the air coming from outside, fresh air coming every time, we cannot make use of the blood cells that we make. The heat energy will not be generated without the air. Air supplies oxygen, oxygen burns the sugar into heat, giving you heat. All those details are in separate classes. All that we would say here is subtler the food, higher its potency. Subtler than ether, subtler than mind, subtler than intellect is ego. That's where we are going. We are not going to achieve everything. We are just going to understand it. That's all we have to say here.
All right. So Manju is asking, can pranayama help recollect our memory from past? Are there any set methods to achieve this?
When you go with the intention of achieving something, you are failing it there, right there. Your intention should not be to achieve something, to get something. Your intention should be to surrender totally. Things happen. I did not do any pranayama thinking that I should achieve this thing. I do the pranayama because that relaxes my mind. Only in a relaxed state of mind can you understand anything. So that is the only purpose for which we do the pranayama, but the rest of the things have happened for people. It happened to me, and I only say that can happen, but don't have hopes and try to achieve that. If you try to achieve that, you have not got it. Exactly like Vishwamitra. I want to be a Brahma Rishi. If you have wants, then you have killed it. Oh no, I didn't know that. Egoless state, that's what we are talking about here. I want to get that, I want to get that. Don't worry about all that. Just follow the lifestyle as best as you should. And when you get everything, don't be proud that I got it, I did it. Because I did it, I got it. I am quoting my life experience because I didn't know that I can get it. I was saved in so many situations because maybe that's how I got into that state. But if I think that I got it, I can do it, then the whole purpose is defeated. Ramana Maharshi was not teaching people that I am a self-realized person. Listen to me. He never said that. He was just by himself. People went on asking him questions. They were attracted to him. Just by looking at him, I was dumbfounded. I saw him, I met him 2 times in my life, and both times I could not take my eyes out of him. There are so many people, but why my eyes are stuck to him? I don't know, some attraction. That's what comes to you. Don't worry about what you will get. Worry about what you should do. Thank you.
Yeah, so Meera wants to know that when we do affirmations, how it affects our mind to heal. Like you also said, that all physical illnesses first affect the mind. So, doing affirmations can help to overcome any kind of illnesses.
There are details of affirmations. I will do it. I can do it. Like that, it should not be affirmation. I surrender. I totally leave it to God. I am going to make the efforts. Result is up to Him. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. I have only the right to do my duty, and I do not have any right to the results of the action. So it is all in God's hand. So we have seen so far that people who did, they got good. Who, if you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. All these things we have seen. But superficially, we see there are so many people who got so many things, but they are doing bad things. How can you justify that they got all this by doing good things? We don't know. What we don't know, we will know by studying this subject a little deeper. What they got is not necessarily the source of joy. You say that, give me money, I will be happy. People say. People who have money, are they happy? People who have big bungalows, who have big luxury cars and everything, are they happy? They are afraid that somebody will take it. They are day and night, they are holding on to their wealth and they are suffering. And at the same time, very poor people, they're laughing and enjoying their life. That's also true. They have nothing to lose. Their house is open. The huts do not have locks. Their door is just easy to open and go in. What do you get out of this? Mud pots. So nobody goes there. So you have nothing to lose. That is the stage that we are trying to reach. I'm not saying give up all your wealth and go into and live in huts. All that I'm saying, whatever you have it. But the enjoyment is in finding out the truth. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so Gayatri wants to know about what you said on acceptance. She asked that if we accept everything that comes our way, how can we distinguish a bad from right? If we get an allopathic solution first, we just accept it without seeking it further health. We will not progress it, isn't it?
Everywhere, God has given us sense to analyze. Pariprasnena sevaya. That means do not accept anything without questioning. Whatever I am saying also you should question. And when you question and you don't get the satisfying answer, don't follow it. Follow the thing which gives you a satisfying answer. I got the satisfying answer and that's why I'm following. I also got out of this circle because I thought this is not making money. I want to do business. I got out of Nature Cure and tried for a few years. God pulled me here and brought me back to Nature Cure. And when I got into it, I saw the joy that comes to me without worrying about money, just worrying about people's health, and more joy came to me. In the same way, we don't have to hold on to anything. We just have to follow the discipline, and end result will tell you by itself through your life that this is what is the truth. When we know the truth, solution is there. We are all trying to find the truth together.
So another question by Surinder Agrawal. He's saying how to bring thoughtless state.
Yeah, that's what we are going to study in all these 6 days. If you expect me to give you the reply in like this, how to come to a thoughtless state? I say most of us are thoughtless. We are thoughtlessly, we are doing so many wrong things. If we think before we do anything, pause for a little while and you can do it. There is wonderful stories which show us. I have given my own example. I'm crazy about cashews, and my hand doesn't wait to take my permission. When I see cashews there, my hand goes to grab it. There were occasions when I paused a little bit. Why are you? I'm talking to my hand. Why are you going and grabbing it? Don't you have cashews in the house? Did anybody offer you this cashew? Why are you wanting to eat it now? Are you hungry? All those questions, when I asked myself, I could stop it. That's all. We pause before you pound on something. Before you grab anything, just pause for a little while. Analysis will give you solution. Everything that you follow, is it good? When the person is giving you medicine, allopathic medicine, it ask the doctor himself, see the website, the name of any medicine, put it in the internet, and the answer is there. What is it made of? Does it remove the cause of the disease? If it doesn't remove the cause of the disease, does it promote our health? It does not promote our health. On the contrary, it destroys our health. Any attempt to cure a disease without simultaneously improving your health or simultaneously removing the cause of the disease, then don't follow it. If it is giving you temporary relief and at the same time giving you a permanent disease which is more dangerous, don't follow it. Temporary relief can be given to you without that medicine also. Study that. Water, air, sunlight, all those things can give you temporary relief also, at the same time giving you permanent solution in the long run. That is why we don't take a medicine. Medicines are shortcuts. There are so many shortcuts, quick fix they give you. Even grandmother treatment, they say, party vaidyam. And then take some turmeric, put it in milk and boil the milk. And if a child is coughing, give him the milk with turmeric boiled and the coughing will stop. Yes, the coughing stops. But did you remove the cause of the coughing? The child is coughing because there is accumulated mucus in the lungs and there is too much of mucus and it's not circulating properly. And the kind of mucus that is being made is bad mucus. We don't think about all that. We just give the child or an adult. The coughing stops when you take milk with turmeric boiled in it. They vouch with turmeric. Turmeric is a good medicine. Yes, it's a medicine. Medicine is a sin of meddling with nature. Don't take any medicine. Just compensation, just prayaschitta. That's the only way to come out of our problems. Thank you.
Yes. So Lalita wants to know, are the autoimmune disease is the case of our karmas?
Everything is the result of our karma. Anything that we do has got a result. Action has got a reaction. If the action is good, the reaction will be good. If the action is bad, the reaction will be bad. This is a simple thing that everybody knows. But what is a good action? What is a bad action? That has to be analyzed. Action in the way of eating food, by way of not exercising, by way of not relaxing enough, or by way of relaxing too much, resting and resting, not engaging ourselves, and thinking of all kinds of things, not engaging ourselves into useful activities. What is useful activities? All those questions are there, which has to be learned through the proper study of natural health science. And when you do that, then even then there comes a stage where we have to know beyond that. There are people, so many of my patients, why am I getting this sickness again? I'm exercising, I'm doing the right thing, I'm eating the right diet, I'm chewing my food thoroughly, I take 1 hour to finish my salad, and why am I still having this problem? There are so many people who follow it right and still they have problem because they have not understood the total science. That don't eat it with expectation. Relax your mind. You are having anger about somebody, you have got jealousy about somebody else, and you are taking all this diet endlessly. It's not going to solve the problem. Sit down, meditate, think that everybody in this world, they are good people. They have wrong choices. There is no bad people. There are people with bad choices. That's all. They will face the consequences. If somebody wrongs you in your back, just excuse them. If somebody talks to you bad, stop them. Tell them that they are nice persons. I tell them that you like them, but don't do this to me. I don't take it. This is bad. Don't do that. You have to tell them. Then that means you have taken out your concern from your heart and you're clear. That's all. Don't bother about them, just leave them alone. They will not do it again. If you look at them and tell them two nice words first and then tell them not to do it, they will not do it. No matter how physically strong, how they think they are mentally strong, doesn't matter. Don't carry on the grievance in your heart. This person did this to me, that person did that to me. He is being mean, he is bad. All those things don't entertain you in your heart. Your heart is supposed to be clean and happy and without any grievances. Keep that way. It's not one easy day trick. It has to be practiced. By practice, you can do it. Okay, thank you.
There are two questions which are not directly linked to this today's session, but I'll take it up, Guruji. You can briefly answer. What is the best time to take sunlight for all kinds of benefit, and regarding the tooth problems, the break of tooth? So if you can briefly address to these questions.
Sunlight is called Mitra. Mitra means friend. Sunlight, the sun is your friend. Any time in the day you can take sunlight, but don't take it to heat your body. It's not for the heat of the sunlight, it's only for the light of the sun that we take sun bath. Don't torture yourself, don't heat your body and suffer with heat of the sun. Just enjoy the light as and when you can and expose the parts of the body which has not been regularly exposed to sunlight. That means it will give you very good results. And then what is the second part? What's the tooth?
Tooth problems, tooth decay, or tooth breaking
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Tooth problems are because of our wrong eating habits. We don't clean our teeth properly. We don't chew our food properly. We don't eat the right kind of vegetables and fruits in the right time. We are taking too much salt, too much sweet, and those things will, too much of anything can decay the tooth faster. So that's all we have to learn here. There are so many alkaline foods that can strengthen the teeth when you are having the teeth. Make juices of durva grass, Bermuda grass they call it in USA, durva grass which they usually use for Ganesha's puja. But any grass is good. If you don't get durva grass, don't say I don't get durva grass, what can I do? Any lawn grass is good. Grass juice, and if you hold it in the mouth for some time, and it will strengthen the roots of the teeth. Gums will be strong and you will have strong teeth. That's one guideline. Okay.
Yes, Neelu, you can go ahead with your question. Neelu, are you there?
Yeah, now we can talk about the course, and it's already about to be 9.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Guruji, can you please stop sharing your screen so that I can share my screen?
I don't know how to do that.
Just a last question, Karishma. Just one last question. I think it's important. This is one question which says, "Is it?" Where is that question? Just a second. Is it right to not to respond wrong behavior?
It is not right to respond to wrong behavior. It's if they are doing it in your back, don't worry about it. If they are doing it to you directly, you have to stop and you tell them that that person is a good person. Tell them that you like him. You're not. You don't hate him. You like him, and then you tell him, "You doing this? No, don't do that to me. I don't. I don't. I appreciate that." You have to tell them that. Okay.
Okay, I'll
So,
just share.
Karishma, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
How do I get out of the screen?
Can you see my screen?
No. There is.
Sulika, can you see my screen?
I see Wellcure screen.
No, not yet. Still, I can see the presentation, like this screen presentation by Dr. Sharma.
Like click the red button. Stop.
Yeah, you need to
Share.
click on that.
Stop presentation. Yeah.
Stop share.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm out of the screen.
Yes. And Guruji, you can look for start video option. It's there only, or just.
Can you screen my
नहीं,
screen?
अभी सब चला गया.
Yes, we can see you. We can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how the program is scheduled. So day 2, we are going to talk about what is real happiness, ignorance in the session. Day 3 is on 27th August. We'll talk about authority, the world. Day 4th, what is soul, concept of God. Day 5th, the egoless state and the quest. And on day 6th, we'll talk about who is sage and what is devotion. So this is how the program is scheduled. This program is suitable for anyone irrespective of their religion, caste, spiritual tradition, or belief system. So there are 6 live sessions in total, 9+ hours of learning, Q&A with Dr. Arun Sharma, and recording access will be given to all the paid participants for 1 year. We'll also share the payment link in the chat box and also the course details. So currently we are running an offer, Imana 25. So you can avail that. You can pay for the course via GPay and Paytm, and you can also scan this QR code. Also, you can send a screenshot of the payment along with your name, email ID, and phone number to this number, or you can also mail it to the mail ID which is given. If you have any doubts related to the course, you can message it, and then we are happy to answer it.
Do you want everybody to say goodbye one by one? Oh, let's see who are all here.
Karishma, can you allow everybody to unmute so that if they want to say bye-bye and everything, if we are done with the session, then we can do that.
Okay, just a second, I'll do that.
I can see some people. I can see.
Yes, I've done that. Now everyone can unmute themselves if they want to add something.
One by one, one by one.
Bye.
Where is Guruji? Can we see Guruji?
I don't know where I am. Who am I?
You're in a heart, Guruji.
That's good enough.
If we can see Guruji, then we can say bye. Hi, Sulika.
Hi, Archana. I think because in this it is shown that Guruji's video is on.
but I think
yeah,
something to do with
yes.
screen sharing is the problem.
Yes.
So bye
If
kisko
the camera
kahe?
is off or something.
हम सुन तो सकते हैं. I can listen to you. I can hear everybody.
Bye bye, Guruji. It was a wonderful session. Looking forward to
Guruji.
the entire session, Guruji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pranam Guruji, Hemant
Tomorrow
Sagra.
morning we have the first session. Tomorrow morning 9 o'clock India Standard Time, 9 a.m. to 10:30. Tomorrow is the first session. So those who wants to register can do that, and the recordings will be available.
Thank you, Tulika. Thank you, Karishma. God bless you all.
Thank you
We'll
so
see you in
much.
the session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much from the Netherlands. I'm so grateful.
Wow.
So tomorrow is the second session of this workshop. We'll be happy to see you all tomorrow in the second live session of this workshop.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you, Guruji. Bye.
गुरुजी जाने को मन नहीं कर रहा तो क्या करना है गुरुजी?
दिल में बिठा लो.
जी जी हुजूर.
This is from Netherlands. Somebody from Netherlands.
She
Maya.
said,
Yes, Lima.
Lima.
Nima.
Lima's from the Netherlands. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Lima.
Hello.
Very good. Nice meeting you, Nima.
Yes. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Everyone, you can switch on your videos and audios and say bye-bye, and the session is over. The formal session is over. Now you can just, if you want to greet and meet and say bye-bye to Guruji, you can do that.
Mr. Guruji, see you tomorrow.
Okay. See you.
My older one. Bye bye.
Bye bye and thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Who is that?
Huh, this is Ishani.
Okay, Shani.
Namaste, Guruji.
Who is that?
Guruji Lata Jain from Mumbai.
Okay.
Namaste, Guruji. Can we meet you
Namaste.
personally, sir?
Yeah, sure.
So where are you right now, in India or US?
I'm in Arizona, US.
Arizona, US. Okay, Guruji. Thank you so much for this wonderful session.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tulika,
Yes, Guruji.
how many people attended? Do you know that?
Tina ji.
Approximately 90 people were there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guruji, can we just test the video right now, just to make sure that tomorrow morning we don't face an issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ankur, we'll do that once this is over now. So we'll send him things and then we'll see how that it can be worked out, because we'll do
And
that.
tomorrow, I would request that if you can join little early, so that 10 minutes, 15 minutes early. So
Yeah. Sure.
yeah. So 8:45.
Yeah, tomorrow is my evening today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tomorrow, India, 15 minutes before, that means 8:45 India time, and your corresponding time you join in. Yeah. Okay.